Applications Engineer at VMH, as well as Heather Hellman, Director of Marketing at VMH. In the interest of time, we'd appreciate if you could hold questions until the end of the presentation. If that light bulb happens to go off at any point throughout the webinar, feel free to jot that question down for the end or use the GoToMeeting toolbar to submit your questions directly to myself. If it is something that we do not cover, I will reach out to you after the webinar personally to address any specific questions. As you can see on the slide here, today's objective is to give automotive manufacturers and suppliers assistance as they look to keep pace with many pressures which are part of working in the competitive automotive global marketplace. Through working with many suppliers, we have found their key objectives often are to increase innovation, increase quality, and decrease cost while driving margins up. During this seminar, you will learn a bit about who VMH is and how we can help. From there, we will move into the webinar itself and focus on how Siemens NX can help with seamlessly flowing information and utilizing software for easier analysis and digital prototyping. We will then have a brief description of what you can expect in part 2 of the webinar, followed by a brief Q&A session. At VMH, we partner with our clients to empower organizations and their employees to achieve their core business initiatives. We do this by enabling their team to better utilize the tools they already have, assisting them to evaluate and implement additional tools, and ensuring high user adoption. We are here to help organizations in a variety of facets, whether it be through Siemens software or other complementary product offerings that we have, such as Volumil, Vericut, Cortona, or Keyshot. To learn more about those complementary products, you can reach out to myself directly and I'd be happy to walk you through that process. We recognize that just because a company may have the best software does not mean that they're necessarily using it to its fullest capability. VMH is equipped with many Siemens certified instructors who are prepared to help companies like yours increase your product development efficiency through a variety of training and mentoring options. VMH also has its own first line of support for all of your technical software questions. As a VMH customer, you will have access to local individuals who can answer the questions you have and act as a liaison between yourself and Siemens G-Tech if there is something that needs to involve them. Like many Siemens resellers out there, we have the ability to sell Siemens software. However, we at VMH take it a few steps further to truly add more value to the client experience. VMH has been working with both Amazon and Microsoft to offer cloud-based Team Center implementations. This allows organizations to be more agile while working within their Team Center test environment. Gone are the days of duplicate IT infrastructure just to see how a few changes here or there would affect your product or production environment. VMH also has a group of summer interns, which we refer to as the Dream Team, as you can see in the bottom left of the slide here. These interns are here to help out our clients when the workload starts to pile up or there's that special project that just needs a little additional R&D focus. Our Dream Team interns are pulled from the nation's top collegiate engineering programs and are here to help when the time comes. This next slide here really is just a summary of what we've already spoken about. VMH has been a Siemens PLM software provider for many years, and it's consistently one of the top Siemens partners globally. We understand that companies no longer work out of a single facility, and for that reason, we have satellite offices in 10 different locations to help us have a truly global presence to assist our customers. At this point, I'd like to hand it over to Tim Banks, who will take us through part 1 of the Essentials for Excellence in Automotive Design and Engineering webinar. Tim, it's all yours.
Thanks, Dan. And guys, luckily for you, I'm a little under the weather, so luckily this presentation was voiced over from Siemens, so we will be listening to Troy Vanderhoof talk. And again, if you have any questions, you can feel free in your GoToMeeting taskbar. There is a Q&A section, so you can jot down your question either there or in the chat window, and we can get to those at the end of the presentation. Thanks.
Hello and welcome. My name is Troy Vanderhoof, and on behalf of Siemens PLM, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to attend today's webcast. Consumers all over the world have more vehicle choices than ever before. As an automotive manufacturer or supplier, this means that you're under tremendous pressure to deliver innovative, high-quality vehicles as efficiently as possible. So, what is it you look for in a product lifecycle management solution? And what design and engineering capabilities can your company implement today to help address this issue? Today, we'll discuss and demonstrate how Siemens NX enables a company to not only design and develop great products, but help it respond quickly and insightfully to these new market opportunities and challenges. Getting better products to market faster and cheaper results in increased profitability for you. It is our ability through technology to help you reduce costs while getting products to market faster that makes Siemens NX an attractive solution for the automotive industry. Applying new and innovative PLM strategies can drastically improve your overall product lifecycle process. The drive for a technical advantage is vital. The innovation curve that's illustrated in this slide determines the profitability of a product. You've probably seen something like this before. This curve represents a succession of strategies used by business management as a product goes through its product lifecycle. Today, we'll focus on NX and how it can help within the design and engineering process. If we look at this chart more closely, we'll see specific areas where technology can improve the profitability of our products. Improving productivity helps speed your product to market while reducing design and development costs. Getting the product to market faster allows you to capture more sales and market share, improving revenue. NX can have an impact through this entire product life cycle. We'll talk about that a little bit more today. Speed to market is one of the most important challenges that face an automotive industry. The automotive industry understands the need to streamline their product development process to achieve this. Leading OEMs like Nissan are increasingly relying on PLM software to bring quality vehicles to market more efficiently and in a timely manner. Nissan is now engaged in one of the greatest engineering competitions in history. That competition is the pursuit of an environmentally sustainable automobile. At Nissan, a highly successful PLM implementation reduced vehicle development time by nearly 50%, improved quality by nearly 80%. Design changes were reduced from 60% to 90%, and at the same time exceeded their return and investment targets. The demand to reduce costs never goes away. Developing a cost reduction strategy that maximizes efficiency without compromising productivity is a tricky proposition. One example of how NX can help address this issue is Musco Stamping. Musco employs 500 people and is equipped with some of the most modern heavy presses available. By implementing NX, they've been able to reduce die design costs and time and have increased productivity. They've been able to reduce die design by 20%. Their die modification is down by as much as 45%. This is just one of many examples of how our customers have been able to reduce costs in their product development process. Increasing sales revenue growth in today's challenging economy is not easy. Vishwa has been able to transform its process for significant competitive gain. Vishwa manufactures automotive components such as headrest supports, tubular framing for seats, and a variety of other press part components. More than 70% of their top and bottom line growth has come from new high-margin products developed using NX solutions. Many companies today leverage Siemens PLM technology to improve and extend their products. Many small businesses are natural, continuous innovators who consistently tweak, adapt, and adjust their product lines. Small, incremental improvements can have big payoffs. It's critical that they have the proper technology that can help reuse and manage their existing products and processes. Chery Automobile is leveraging information to extend and expand their product lines. The ultimate measure of success of Chery's PLM solution is increased market share and customer satisfaction, both of which have been occurring since their Siemens PLM implementation began. In addition, the company notes a number of other internal improvements attributed to the PLM system. In terms of design collaboration, There's more information sharing now. That information is managed by Team Center, and documents are 95% consistent versus 65% previously. Data reuse has increased from 5% to between 20 and 30%. Today, over 70% of the top 47 global vehicle manufacturers use PLM solutions from Siemens. In addition, almost 90% of the top 25 automotive global suppliers use solutions from Siemens. Of the top 50 automotive global suppliers, 30 use NX for engineering design. So, what is it that makes NX an attractive solution for automotive suppliers worldwide? NX is the industry's most integrated, flexible, and efficient CAD/CAM CA solution. And as discussed in previous slides, NX is proven to help deliver better products faster and more efficiently. NX increases our customers' product introduction rates, accelerates design and analysis cycles, and reduces part manufacturing times. So, what is NX? NX brings together the tools for every development task in a unified solution. All technical domains work concurrently from the same product model data. The seamless integration enables you to rapidly propagate information and process changes across all development disciplines. NX also leverages Team Center software, which is a collaborative product development management solution, more commonly known as a CPDM. This is completely integrated into NX and provides a single source of product and process knowledge that coordinates all phases of development. Although there are many benefits to having a fully integrated and managed development solution, there are some real valuable benefits that are a result of leveraging it. For the rest of this webcast, we'll discuss and demonstrate these key issues: seamless flow of information from concept through manufacture, benefits of bringing analysis into the design process earlier, reduced manufacturing and cost and increased tooling quality, the benefits of product and process reuse, and the importance of collaboration during the entire design process. The tools you use in product development need to be powerful yet simple and efficient to use. One important point to make when discussing NX's product development environment is ease of use and the consistent interface when moving throughout the various disciplines of CAD, CAE, drafting to CAM. NX provides a consistent interface, so once a user becomes familiar with one, he or she can switch to the other applications without having to learn another interface. One example I frequently use is Microsoft Office. When moving through Word to Excel, in this case PowerPoint, the interface is very familiar. The NX user interface is easy to customize and learn, developing a rapid return on your investment. In addition, NX delivers a customizable role-based interface. This customizable, configurable user interface allows users to train for specific tasks in as little as one day. This role-based interface can be customized by the user and can grow with the user as they need an additional functionality. Let's take a couple of minutes to discuss the importance of having a flexible and open CAD system. Over 80% of a designer's time in a CAD system is spent editing and creating geometry. In an earlier study by Aberdeen, they surveyed top engineering companies and found that 50% of companies felt that model modification required expert CAD knowledge. In addition, 48% said their models were inflexible and failed after major changes. 54% of these respondents said that their users struggled to find suitable models to reuse. This is an important factor as it relates to design reuse. NX delivers true design flexibility, mixing solid modeling and surface modeling into a single environment, allowing the designer the power and flexibility he needs to get the job done. This means you can use the best tool for the task at hand. In addition to this, NX offers the power of parametric modeling along with the freedom of direct modeling in a single environment. Once again, delivering a solution that does not force a designer to compromise the design. This flexibility also enables users to work with geometry regardless of its origin, supporting supply chain strategies where data can come from a variety of CAD systems. In the auto industry, not every supplier, customer, or partner uses the same CAD tools or deliver design data in the same CAD format. This creates a challenge for bringing together all these CAD models without losing or recreating work. According to a study by the Aberdeen research firm entitled Working with Multi-CAD, Overcoming the Engineering Bottleneck, 82% of respondents say they now use 3 or more CAD formats in their design processes, and nearly half, 42%, use 5 or more. With NX, you can directly open and work with data from CATIA V4, V5, Creo, SolidWorks, and other CAD formats. In addition, NX supports standard formats that include IGES, STEP, DXF, and more. One key technology within NX that helps enable this is Synchronous Technology. With Synchronous Technology, you no longer have to choose between constraint-driven or history-free modeling. You no longer have to be a programmer to reuse a model, and you no longer need to worry about using data from multiple CAD systems. Let's take a moment and get a better look at what Synchronous Technology can do. I'd like to take some time, take a closer look at Synchronous Technology and some of the capabilities that it provides our users. In this example, we have an imported file from any CAD system. This could be a Pro or SolidWorks file, and we want to make a modification to that. What we have the ability to do is merely drive a section, create some section curves through that, edit those section curves, and you'll notice that the model actually updates to those modifications. What we're showing here is just basically changing, adding some draft angle on here, and you'll notice that the tangencies also are maintained. In this example, we're looking at a sheet metal file. In this particular case, it's a CATIA file, and making some feature changes. Note that the system with Synchronous Technology does recognize features, and you have the ability to edit those features parametrically. In addition, we can add additional features in NX. In this case, we're going to add a sheet metal jog and basically make the modifications using Synchronous Technology. This provides the user the ability to edit and modify that file the way they need to. In addition, we're actually instancing, you'll notice that it recognizes features, and we have the ability to modify, add additional features to this using the Synchronous Technology. Here's an automotive example on an automotive part. We'll show this a little more later in the presentation, but showing freeform, that Synchronous also works with freeform shapes. Here's a sheet metal file, and we're able to modify that part by basically grabbing and using the freeform editing capabilities. In addition, Synchronous Technology is not just limited to design, it's also required and utilized in CAE and other downstream applications like CAM and tooling. In this particular instance, what we're doing is getting a file ready for manufacturing to actually manufacture and cut that tool. What Synchronous Technology provides the manufacturing engineer in this example is the ability to go ahead and pull out certain features, make modifications, maybe add stock as they need as part of the in-process workpiece. So Synchronous Technology will allow that manufacturing engineer to pull out features, in that case something that would be electroded or burned in, and any additional holes. In this case, they're going to go ahead and rough and semi-finish and finish that, and so they don't need those features in there. And that's really what's being shown in this example. Let's now take a look at how bringing analysis into the design process can help the overall product development process impact overall time, quality, and cost. By basing and integrating advanced CA capabilities into the same platform as the CAD system, NX helps product development teams analyze designs earlier because engineers don't need to worry about enter-prone data translation issues between CAD and CAE. The result is a faster simulation process, more design analysis iterations, more innovation, and fewer prototypes. NXCAE is a modern, multidisciplinary CA environment for advanced analysts, work groups, and designers who need to deliver high-quality performance insight in a timely fashion to drive product decisions. Unlike disconnected single-discipline CA tools, NXCAE integrates best-in-class analysis modeling with simulation solutions for structural, thermal, flow, motion, multi-physics, and optimization into a single environment. It also seamlessly integrates simulation data management into an analyst's workflow so that the information is no longer lost within some obscure hard drive. And finally, NXCAE provides the ability for greater simulation-driven design processes by giving companies the ability to expand simulation to the design community and increase collaboration between high-end analysts and designers. Integrated modeling and solutions refers to the productivity benefits that analysts can achieve through a common integrated environment. Because NXCAE is built using the same foundation of a leading CAD system, it has much more powerful geometry editing capabilities than a traditional FEA processor. Things like direct geometry editing, powered by Synchronous Technology, make it fast and intuitive for analysts not familiar with CAD history trees to rapidly edit and prepare geometry prior to meshing. The geometry integration also helps CFD engineers rapidly create fluid domain geometry in a matter of seconds, which is usually a very time-consuming task with typical CFD tools. And finally, all geometry edits, mesh, and boundary conditions created by the analysts are associated to the design. This allows engineers to rapidly update their models to resimulate and provide results much faster than ever before whenever the design changes. By bringing simulation into a single modern environment, it becomes much easier to automate repetitive simulation tasks. NXCAE does this through a common API set called NX Open. This enables product engineering organizations to capture the knowledge of expert analysts. The API can automate the full scope of NXCAE solutions so engineers can automate complex analysis. The API can also be linked to other external proprietary programs you may have so that engineers can easily launch those programs from the NX environment. Linking with Teamcenter also gives expert analysts a means to distribute and manage automated processes to the broader organization. Let's take a look at an example.
Here we see a designer using NX, and he wishes to design this engine manifold so the airflow is balanced. To run this analysis, he simply executes an automated step-by-step process developed by a CAE analyst directly from the NX interface. The first step just sets up the simulation model in NX. The second step then creates the fluid domain for the model. You see after the designer selects this step that he is presented with a detailed set of instructions including reference images, which the designer then follows to complete the step. Soon after the designer clicks OK, the fluid domain for the manifold is automatically created. The designer then moves to the third step to create the plenum test chambers. And again, we see the nice user interface telling the designer exactly what to do. Once the designer has made his selections and clicks OK, NX automatically creates the test chambers. Moving to the fourth step, the designer is instructed to select the fluid domain, and then NX creates the mesh to the predefined specifications within the process. The final step then asks the designer for some additional selections so that NX can complete the analysis setup and then run the simulation. As you just saw, the automated process guided the designer using best practices captured by the CAE analyst with NX Open, and the entire analysis only took minutes to complete. Using this process, a designer can quickly judge the impact of design changes to the airflow and rapidly iterate on his design to achieve the optimal result before handing the part off for detailed analysis, eliminating the simulation bottleneck and improving efficiency for the entire product development process.
Here's an automation example from the racing world that Worth Research conducted for Acura Racing. The gearbox is at the very heart of the new Acura, and everything links to it. The engine, the chassis, the rear suspension, rear wing, and it supports the rear bodywork too. The design consistently evolves through the life of the car, and as any linked item changes, so the gearbox has to change. One of the major design objectives for the car was to keep the car very light. That required a change to the whole gearbox concept. Gearbox cases are generally cast in magnesium in simple and conservative designs. The material properties of magnesium preclude thin wall casting, so gearboxes tended to be very heavy. To reduce weight, they want to look at reducing wall thicknesses and then simulate the new design. However, racing timelines are short, and their original CA process would take 2 weeks. Without being able to check the best and worst cases very quickly at this point in the design process, Worth would not have had the confidence to use a thin wall casting. However, using an automated process, Worth Research developed inside NX, Worth's design engineers can change the wall thickness geometry just by changing a parameter. To reduce the thickness by 1 millimeter, they just enter the parameter in the expression in NX and the whole CA model regenerates in less than 30 minutes. Keep in mind, the model is huge with over 4,000 features, different fillet blends, holes, bosses, etc. Now, with NX, see as an integral part of their design process. Meshing, solving, visualization, it's all integrated in the menu, and that's what makes this whole approach viable. One of the key differentiators for NX is it provides value across a wide spectrum of domains within a company. We've looked at design and simulation. Let's now look at tooling and manufacturing. In automotive, a wide range of components are made using tooling. That tooling has to be designed and manufactured. This tooling is often on a critical path to vehicle production. Tooling is a high-cost element, and the end customers have an ever-increasing expectation on final quality.
And another case study we can discuss before we wrap up is the VMH International Dream Team over last summer. They were given a step file of a Ford Model T, and that was received by scanning the car with laser 3D scanners, and they brought that part into NX, and they were able to use Synchronous Technology to kind of make the car more aerodynamic and make the hood more aerodynamic, add a roof scoop, change the tires, add rims, and after that they could simply take that part and move it into the CAE portion of NX and see the differences between the Model T before the redesign and then after the redesign. They could see how much money they could save and how much more aerodynamic the car was after all their changes. And if you'd like to hear more about that, you can feel free to shoot me an email, tim.banks@vmhinternational.com, as well as Dan. You can see his contact information on the screen. And Dan, it's all you.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed part 1 of the Essentials for Excellence in Automotive Design and Engineering webinar, and hopefully you came away with a few ideas on how to improve the way in which you design products today. As stated, the intent of today's webinar was to assist our clients to have information flow seamlessly throughout the organization and utilize software for quicker analysis and reducing the amount of physical prototypes. I hope you will join us on Tuesday, March 4th at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern as we dive into part 2 of the series, where we will expand on the topics already covered and take a deeper dive into utilizing reuse to drive cost reductions and increasing innovation through collaboration. At this point, I'd like to open it up for a brief Q&A. You can enter your questions in the queue or use the raise hand function to be unmuted. Doesn't look like we have any questions. Oh, we do.
We do have one question from Indra. Let me go ahead and unmute you. Indra, we went ahead and unmuted you. You'll have to enter in your PIN that was just sent to you. Otherwise, you're welcome to type your question below, and we're happy to answer it live on the call.
Inder, on the right-hand side of the GoToMeeting Access panel, you should have an ability to enter into either the questions or the chat window to ask your question. It doesn't look like your audio is working. Okay, Inder, I have your, oh. So, Inder, it looks like you have a question about manufacturability. I'll tell you what, for the interest of time and everybody else in the call, I'll go ahead and take that offline. I have your contact information here, and I will give you a call at the conclusion of this, and we will address that personally.
Okay, it looks like that's all for today's event. We appreciate again your attendance, Stan Snyder and Tim Banks. We thank you for your time, and we thank all of you for sitting in and listening with us. Thanks for joining NX Essentials for Excellence. Look forward to joining us on Part 2, Tuesday, March 4th. We'll see you then. Have a great day.